Hi everyone, good morning and welcome back to my cozy lifestyle. I just opened the fridge and picked out a few basic things: curd, paneer, tomatoes. Some days I am in the mood to try something new, and some days I just want food that feels familiar but still a little special. Today was somewhere in between. I started with the tomatoes first. I'm just roughly chopping them. Nothing perfect because anyway this is going to be blended later. So I don't spend too much time here. And on days when you are cooking multiple things together, that really helps. I added some whole spices, just enough to give a little depth, not too much. And then tomatoes, saute a little bit. Cashews, some nuts and spices, turmeric and red chili powder. 1 cup of water. This is what gives the gravy that slightly rich feel. I'm not making anything very heavy, but I still want that smooth texture. If you don't have cashews, you can always adjust later with cream. I just let it cook on medium with lid on and didn't touch it too much. Sometimes it's easier to just let things cook on its own instead of constantly checking. While that was cooking, I moved to the aloo. I mixed curd with spices, coriander powder, red chili powder and turmeric powder. And I take a little extra time here to whisk it properly because if the curd isn't smooth, it can split later. And then you have to fix it, which just makes things longer. So I'd rather do it properly once. If you enjoy this kind of simple, real kitchen routine, you can subscribe. I share this kind of cooking regularly. Crushing some whole coriander, which goes perfectly with aloo sabji. You can use it in any aloo sabji, dry or gravy base. It just goes perfect with it. By then, tomato base is ready, so let it keep aside and focus on the aloo sabji. I kept the tadka very simple. I didn't want too many flavors here because the curd itself already has a nice taste. I added the curd slowly and kept stirring. This part needs a little patience, but once it comes together, it's done. We keep stirring it to a boil and then add a cup of water or the amount you want the consistency to be. And left it to a boil. Until it's boiling, let's focus on the potatoes. I didn't mash them completely, just kept them slightly chunky so you get a bit of texture in every bite. And then I just let it cook slowly. Adding some salt and let it cook some time with lid on. By then, the tomato base was ready. I let it cool slightly before blending because blending it too hot sometimes changes the texture. I blended it into a smooth paste. The smoother this is, the better your final gravy will look and feel. Let's shift aloo on another burner and start preparing paneer sabji. For this, I have taken the same pan, adding some oil with butter, and side by side I am checking potato. When the oil is hot enough, I added gravy base and keep stirring it. When the gravy starts cooking again and everything comes together, I keep stirring it in between because with cashews it can stick to the bottom if left too long, and let it cook to a boil. While the gravy is boiling, let's check potatoes, and they are done. I kept it aside and look at the consistency. It looks perfect. The gravy, the color, the texture, everything perfect. While the gravy is boiling for the paneer, let's cut the paneer. I have made this paneer at home. It's so firm and so juicy. I have give the video how to make paneer at home. Let's cut the paneer. You can cut it in desirable shape. I like it this way. Now move on to the gravy. It's thickening, so I added some water here to adjust the consistency. I don't like it too thick or too runny. Somewhere in between works best. Let it come to a boil again. Then I added paneer. I always try not to overcook paneer, otherwise it turns slightly rubbery and that just spoils the texture. So I keep it soft. A little cream at the end, and that's it. At this point, it already starts looking like something you'd order, but it's just made at home. Now, let's just cut the cucumber for cucumber raita. I like it this way, only cucumber within it, but you can adjust according to your type. You can add tomatoes, onions, bundi, whatever you like. But I like it simple, a summer cooling, refreshing dip. Now the paneer is almost cooked. Let's add some kasuri methi and finish it. It gives a nice aroma to the paneer and it's done in no time. For raita, I have taken thick curd, then cucumber in it, some raita masala and some black salt. Nothing extra, just simple ingredients, and it just feels perfect. Something fresh always balances a meal like this, especially when you have a slightly rich gravy. And of course, I made some fresh rotis. This is usually the last thing I do. Everything else can wait, but roti has to be made fresh. I have tried making it earlier sometimes, but it just doesn't feel the same. There's something about hot roti straight from the tawa that just brings the whole meal together. And when it puffs like this, it's always satisfying to watch. It's just a small thing, but it makes a difference. Once everything is ready, I like to take a minute and plate it properly. Not in a fancy way, but just enough so it feels nice. Because when you are cooking at home every day, these small things matter more. So, this is everything I made today: dahi wale aloo, paneer, fresh raita, and roti. I like how everything looks together. There's something comforting about a simple thali like this. It's not about making too many dishes, it's more about how everything balances out. Some days I feel like trying new recipes, but most days I just come back to things like this. Food that doesn't need too much thinking but still feels complete. And I think that's what home cooking really is. Not perfect recipes, but just putting things together in a way that works for you. Even the process, cutting, cooking, waiting, it all becomes a part of your routine. And somehow it feels peaceful. So, this was today's meal. Simple, but something I enjoyed making. If you like this kind of real everyday cooking, where things are not perfect but still come together nicely, you can subscribe. I'll keep sharing more like this. Until next time, keep smiling and bye bye.